Drew Darnell is currently a VP of operations at a place called Machinery Corporation. So you can think about them as helping their customers find, finance, buy, and then maintain these really complicated pieces of machinery, crushers, screeners, conveyors, things like that. Prior to that, he was at Fabral, and Elizabeth, I saw you from Fabral here as well. He led a number of initiatives there around, specifically around the customer order process that we're familiar with, and using AI and structured workflows. It really meant to kind of improve speed and lower errors in their order process. He spent a lot of time in supply chain. He spent a lot of time in customer ops roles in the manufacturing and distribution world. So Fabral is a metal roof panel manufacturer. So I think it's fair to say he's lived a lot of the complexity that many of you live with on a day-to-day basis. But I'm going to say one more thing before I let him jump in. More important than just what he's been able to achieve is the way he's been able to achieve it. So when I had a chance to talk to Drew, I think you find he's very practical. He's focused on what really works. And it's not about overcomplicating things or boiling the ocean. So I think that's kind of right in line with what we think is important in this branch of Drew. So Drew, welcome. Thank you for joining us.
Thank you for having me, Dan. Appreciate it.
Great. As Paul mentioned, we're talking about kind of scaling operations with AI without losing the human touch. So I want to start with something that I've heard you say, and I think it was a nice, helpful way of framing it. The kind of quote was, he said that when it comes to AI, we should let people do what people do best and let systems, process, and technology do what they do best. So help me understand it. What does that mean in your world?
Yeah, so the first thing I would say is the most valuable thing that every company has, it's not their buildings, it's not their bank accounts, it's not their assets, it's not even their IP, it's their people. And the truth is, no matter, we all come from different businesses and industries, and no matter what the product is, we're all in the people business. And so for me, leveraging technology is always making sure that we're leveraging the technology and not harming the people. So for me, the key here is having this mindset of kind of letting people do what people do best and then let technology do what technology does best. And what I mean by that is technology allows us to scale the execution. It allows you to get more output from an activity, technical system perspective, and then allowing the people to scale relationships and to scale critical thinking and judgment. And I think we do well when we remember that people buy from people and they pay for value. People don't really care. Your customers don't care how you get the process done. And to me, where the greatest value is with AI, you can actually do both. You can scale both relationship via your people. You can scale execution via technology and AI to deliver the win-win. And it becomes a win-win-win for the customers, for your people, and then for your business as well.
What I'm hearing is using the technology to enable the people. Is that a fair way of summarizing it?
Yeah, I think sometimes, too often we tend to approach technology. AI is just the new wave, but we tend to approach technology without having a full scope or understanding the impact on the business and especially the impact on the people. And I hear often companies talk about, well, if we do AI, we can lower our headcount by 20%, lower cost by this, and that's the wrong mindset in my opinion. My opinion is actually what you are allowed to do is allow technology and AI to take those processes that don't need a person to actually do them, and then leverage your people to do the things that matter the most to your customers and to your business.
So the question about, when we chatted about this and this is all, it'll keep going and going and going. We'll unravel the thread here, but you've kind of shifted, I think, from asking what AI can do and kind of saying it can do a whole bunch of things that maybe we didn't think it could do. But what should leaders be thinking about, to not let that go too far down the path?
Yeah, I think what I hear you asking is really around how do we do things in a practical way, right? Because going too far down the path is not being practical. I think one of the biggest issues that exists is we try to go from 0 to 100 really quick. And what we do is we, like an ERP system, we say, well, just have AI do it. And then you take AI and you try to apply it to whatever the problem is. And that does nothing but create frustration. And then leaders get frustrated, people get frustrated because the out-of-the-box solution didn't work. So I think the first thing we've got to do is we've got to take small, consistent steps to get to the destination. Every destination is achieved by one step at a time. I think the second thing is, and this is where for Braille we learned a lot, was we didn't try to solve every single problem. Jackie, who I worked with at Y Metals, and I'll say this, I joined a brain trust because I was interested in getting better on myself. And it was from that I actually connected with Y Meadows. And I said, I don't know if you guys can help me or not, but let's see what you can do. And it was Jackie saying, every time I was trying to come up with an objection about like, well, I don't think this is going to work, she would just remind me, let's just find one thing. And I think that's really key is, one of two things. You either find an easy win, find that low hanging fruit, or you find the biggest bottleneck and you go attack it. But don't try to solve everything at once. Just get a little bit of momentum. And then just even keeping it going from too far on a practical level is you got to get buy-in on the boots on the from the boots on the ground. Sometimes AI, and that's what this is really about today, is AI can be seen as it's going to take people's jobs and it's going to make people redundant. But I think the way that we position that is by getting the people's feedback and input and buy-in from the very beginning, and really truly understanding the needs instead of what I always tell people, like when I go to a new company, I hear what the people say the problems are, I hear what the leaders are, and then I find that in the middle there's probably a little bit of overlap, but there's some stuff that doesn't. And I would say the last piece, Dan, you kind of brought up is not treating and talking about AI as being a replacement. But talking about it being an enablement. It's something to let everyone do their job better.
We were talking internally, and I had my boss turn like, you can use this tool to do this. And my first thought was like, no, this is my own process and I'm in this world. Like, no, what I do is too complex. It cannot be done this way. So how do you get over guys like me who you're trying to talk to and say, we're going to try to use this tool? I think my world is too complex. I can't do it. It's too much.
Yeah, so that's the biggest objection all the time, right? And I'm sure you guys hear it. I know I've said it 100 times, which is, well, you just don't understand my business. You just, my business is different. And I'll give a practical example. So for Braille, we get orders via phone call, we get emails, we get PDFs. We still, yes, got faxes. We would even get the local lumber, a guy bring in a piece of wood that he needs a piece of metal cut, and it's drawn on a piece of wood. And so when you have such archaic ways of getting orders, and I think as Christian was mentioning, like, some of our data wasn't great as well. Like, that's a challenge. And so for us, it was really helping people understand that you have your way of doing things, but there might be a better way. And for me, it's always, Dan, what do you really enjoy doing? Do you enjoy that way, or does he just do it because that's the way you've always done it? And it's like, well, no, I really enjoy this piece. Well, then, okay, well, let's make this easier so you can spend more time doing other things that bring you the greatest joy and brings the most value to the company. And what I found is everybody wants to do that. It's just that change management. Change management is probably the biggest challenge that most companies have. It's just doing that. And I think the biggest way with AI is starting with the people. Everybody's scared of it. It's a buzzword. Everybody wants to implement it. But when you start with the people, and the people being both your people that you have on your team as well as the customers, and if you keep both of those at the forefront of your thought and the way you're thinking, you have a greater likelihood to be able to move everybody forward faster. Even it's the slow down so you can go fast mentality.
But it sounds like, okay, slow down to go fast, take a small piece, right? A first step. Now, once you've kind of taken that first step, can you give us like, what happens to the human side once that first step actually is effective?
Yeah, well, I mean, if you think about it, like if someone is doing a task repetitively and it's a task that's manual and it's a task that adds a lot of frustration, if you say, well, we're going to take away this most frustrating repeatable task, and I know you really enjoy calling Paul over at so and so company because you really have a great relationship with him, like let's take away this one piece that you don't have to do it and you can call Paul, and then when Paul needs something, Paul's going to call you, so you're developing that relationship. And look, now we're growing as a business, and it's both job satisfaction as well as business growth. And you have to be smart, thoughtful, and intentional in the way you present things. But the truth is, For me, AI is a win-win for everyone. You just can't, you don't sell ideas or thoughts or products to everyone the same way. You have to present it in a way that makes sense, not sell it in a way that, you're just trying to get one over on somebody, because that's not the way we should do business. But, if you slow down and you just very thoughtful and intentional on how you explain things, like people are willing, people want to do their best work. And if you say, and I'll give you an example. At Fabral, my first year, we had about $385,000 worth of order entry errors. Now, that's a lot of money. It's a significant percentage for us. And so, for me, getting the buy-in from my leadership around AI was really simple. Like the vast majority of our errors came from order entry aspect. Let's automate that. Let's take that out of that. Okay, then we can get rid of people. Well, no, actually, now you can have people call and do the check-ins, do some inside sales type stuff, do a little bit more, thoughtful relationship building, and so now we'll grow sales while we make our quality better, and it's a win-win. And so, and then you go to your people, Dan, and you say, listen, we know this is frustrating. We know that it hurts your feelings. You get frustrated when you make mistakes. Let's take that piece out so you can do the stuff that really gives you joy.
It's what I'm hearing, and I like the one piece is that first off, AI can't do everything, right? In spite of what they're doing, say it cannot do everything, and it's maybe finding those repetitive, low value, ugly, unhappy tasks. So then the selling of the value proposition to the employee is like, you don't have to do all that anymore. You get to do more of this over here.
Yep.
Okay. Last thing, we get to 30 seconds. Lightning
Okay.
round.
Let's do it.
One thing you would avoid, one mistake you say, don't do this.
Oh man, one thing that I would do. Okay, let me answer this one way, okay? And I'll be really quick. To me, here's one thing to do and one thing to avoid. The first thing to do is just find the one problem. Find that one thing that you can actually make an impact on. It doesn't have to be everything, and it doesn't have to be all of it. Just find something and attack it. But I think that's the thing you avoid too, is getting in this mindset. It's an all or nothing mindset. It's a zero sum game. It's not. Like, find one thing that you can automate in your, and this goes for everybody on the call. Like, find one thing that you can automate in your daily life, and all of a sudden, like, you start seeing the value pick up. The problem becomes, it becomes addictive. I started vibe coding, and I ended up buying a bunch of credits that expire at the end of this month. I'm on a business trip, so I'm going back to the hotel every night, and I'm building apps out because it's just addictive. I think that's the only challenge, though, is, find the one thing that you can do, but don't try to do everything. Don't try to boil the, I like that. Don't try to boil the ocean. There's time, right? So figure out what makes sense, get it to work, get some quick wins, get some morale boosting, and then from there, it all will build up.
Thank you. I think that's my takeaway, right? One thing, right? The Zen
Yep.
thing, one thing, and then don't try to boil the ocean. Just go step by step. Thank
Yep.
you very much. I appreciate that.
Yeah. No,
Oh, I
thank you
see
for
you
having
all.
me.